A hurricane has never hit Wisconsin, and to be frank, one never will. But that doesn't mean we can't feel the effects. Out of all the tropical systems to make U.S. landfall, several along the Gulf Coast have raced towards the Midwest, with a few nearly maintaining tropical storm status. It's also common for strong low-pressure systems to develop over the Great Lakes, but the waters are just too cold to produce a hurricane. Some speculate one exception occurred 23 years ago, as an intense storm, now unofficially known as Hurricane Huron, actually developed an eye over Lake Huron and had winds as high as 73 miles per hour. On the flip side, we can and do feel earthquakes.
UWM has been running some form of a seismometer since the 70s.
This secured sensor records rumbles felt right here in Milwaukee.
As long as the earthquake is large enough, I can get them from anywhere in the world.
The only documented earthquake to originate here in southeast Wisconsin shook downtown Milwaukee the afternoon of May 6, 1947, with an estimated 4 magnitude.
It scared a lot of people because, again, we're not used to that type of thing. It broke a lot of windows and dishes.
The Waukesha Fault, exposed in the Waukesha Quarry, is one of several small inactive fault lines in the area. Most earthquakes that we feel originate south of the state line, leading our travels to Northern Illinois University to find out what's behind the tremors.
Sort of a band of seismicity that goes through Northern Illinois. Probably extends into Michigan, and a little bit of that goes up into Wisconsin.
Professor Carpenter says this area is only capable of producing smaller earthquakes. To feel larger, more devastating quakes, we have to look even farther south at the New Madrid zone that stretches between several states, including southeast Missouri and western Tennessee. In the 1800s, this area saw multiple earthquakes of 8 magnitude. At that time, only 6,000 people lived in the zone. Nowadays, an earthquake of that size would devastate large cities like Memphis and St. Louis. The soil and bedrock east of the Mississippi would allow these strong earthquake waves to travel all the way here in Wisconsin.
The San Francisco earthquake from 1906, which is like a magnitude 7.5 to 8, the waves barely got to Nevada. Right. Whereas in the 1811 and 12 earthquakes in New Madrid, which were similar sized, waves got all the way to Boston and Toronto.
It would be pretty significant up here. I think it would do some damage. Maybe not like level a house, but it would definitely rattle things enough to where there could be structural damage.
Seismic experts are split on whether this big one will ever occur again.
There's always been sort of two schools of thought. Like the 1811, 1812 sequence was sort of the last hurrah, and other people say it's way overdue.
The U.S. Geological Survey estimates there is a 28 to 46% chance of a magnitude 6 or greater earthquake hitting the New Madrid zone in the next 40 years. It's always smart to prepare. Secure tall, heavy items like bookshelves, dressers, and water heaters. Brian Isnansky, today's TMJ4.
We both lived in St. Louis. Nobody there is prepared for an earthquake.
No. That's not something that we think about, no.